ready? All right, questions?
Well, it's the first time we've talked to you, so why stay at Kentucky? I'm sure you have plenty of other options. What about this new staff?
Yeah, I think the new staff was very intriguing, obviously, and I'm obviously really happy I stayed. I think you guys have seen the energy they brought and how it's all gone. And I really like the offense, and they really showed me how it was going to be used, and it's been that way so far. So it's been great.
How many times have they mentioned Kenyon Sadiq to you and what they did at Oregon?
Yeah, so they mentioned obviously Ferguson, Oregon, first of all, and then Sadiq, and watched a bunch of their film. And also with Sloan at LSU, we watched a bunch of Mason Taylor film. So it was really good seeing all those guys film. And just when you show stuff on film, there's nothing. That's the truth. That's the tape. So tape doesn't lie.
We talked to Ty last week. He said that you two were kind of talking to each other a whole lot when you were making your decisions. Just how beneficial was he for you personally when you were debating on what you want to do with your future?
Yeah, I mean, we're both from Kentucky. We were talking a lot because we were both kind of in a similar situation. And I think it came down to we both wanted to be here in the state because we're both from here. We wanted to stay here, and we wanted to do something special here with this new staff. And that's really what it came down to with me and Ty talking every day.
Kind of the other side of that, we know how close you and Cutter are and were. Like, how much in these conversations do you have to build on those relationships and then also acknowledge, like, we got to do what's best for each of us individually?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, you know what I mean, you got to do what's best for you in your future, you know what I mean? And you can still have those relationships in your life, but at the end of the day, it's what's best for you in your future and your family. So it just comes down to that, and that's just how college football is now.
So far as you've learned the offense, like how has your role changed, evolved from what it was the first 2 years?
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good role in the offense. I'm trying to be a big leader this year, and I think the way offense flows is the tight end is also a big part of it. And I think a lot of the balls go that way. And even if it's like we talk a lot, like if we mess up a play, it's usually the center of the play. You know what I mean? It could be a block, it could be anything, but we're usually in the big part of the play. And I think that's a big part of this offense. And that just proves how the tight end is such a big part of it.
What's it been like catching balls from Kenny so far?
It's been really good. He's really accurate, and when he gets in rhythm, it's pretty scary. He goes like today, those first 3 drives, he got in rhythm with his feet, and he's really accurate. And he's really good leader, and really confident, which I like a lot out of a quarterback when you're in the huddle.
I've heard he's not like a rah guy, but he's commanding in the huddle. Just what do you see from him?
Yeah, he's pretty calm. So he's very confident and calm. I can take care of the rah-rah. So, you know, we got that with the O-line, tight ends. But the way he is, he comes in, he calms us down, and situations get crazy. So that's kind of what you want out of a quarterback, you know what I mean? He can take control of the offense, take command, and calm everybody down in big moments.
Coach Stein's talked a lot about the non-traditional practices and it's a lot of best on best, he's mixing and matching. How has that helped your growth, and was it just like, compared to practices in other years?
Yeah, I love it. I think competing every day, just the different drills we're doing, like we do something called the mama drill. I think it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life playing football. It's one of the most fun things. And I love competing because competing brings out energy in practice, and it brings out, you know what I mean, that just the competition every day, going out and doing these different things in practice. In the middle of practice, we're doing a certain drill. And that, I think for me, I love, like I said, I love competing, and it brings out really good energy for the team.
Was there someone you really enjoy competing against that really pushes you?
I mean, anybody on defense. I mean, I like going against all the safeties, linebackers, basically anybody. I love competing.
What
So
about that mama drill do you like so much?
I think it's just really cool. It's the whole team watching. You know what I mean? It's just you in front of the whole team. We go down the line. Everybody gets a chance. It's wide receiver, tight end, O-line versus D-line. Everybody gets a chance. It's one-on-one in front of the whole team. Nothing to hide. You know what I mean?
Any highlights from that, either you or somebody else?
Yeah, I think it's we're doing it every day, so it's just competing. But the best part about it is you're gonna lose, you're gonna win. That just teaches you how to compete. And that's a good thing. You don't want to be, you want both sides winning, obviously. So it's a good thing.
Well, can you kind of just take us through the timeline as a player of like last season, Louisville game's over, the next day Coach was on, and then later that day Coach Stein's already hired. What was that like having just so much stuff happen in such a short time span?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I do remember it. It was just I was back home, and we didn't know what was going on, obviously, and I was just back home training, and they got the hire really quickly, and we all came down here, and a lot of us were just sitting here talking, and I just remember that first meeting with him, and he talked to me, and I liked it a lot at first, and we just continued to talk, and it was really good. It was really cool. Really quick, though.
What do you hope this upcoming spring game, what do you hope that you, the tight ends, and the rest of the team can show the fans about what's coming in the fall?
I think it's just the energy we're bringing, and the competitiveness, like I said, and both sides of the ball. Like today, it was back and forth, and that's what you want, obviously, in a scrimmage or the spring game coming up. But I think it'll be a lot of good things to see on both sides and good competition. So I think it'll be a really exciting day.
Well, I know you're looking at one day at a time, one drill at a time, but you wouldn't be human if you hadn't snuck a look at the schedule. And it's pretty challenging. I mean, if y'all even, as among yourselves, talked about it, looked at it, I mean, it's pretty challenging.
Yeah, to me, it's just like just motivation to go work, and that's what we've been doing since January. Obviously, that's in the future, but that's just what we're working for, and what we're working every day towards. Whether it's a Monday walkthrough or a practice on Tuesday or the spring game, you know what I mean. Every day you have to stack to get to that season.
Willie, what do you want the culture of this team to be?
I want it. So far, it's been great, but the biggest thing for me is a standard. You know what I mean, and you can't let that slip. And we have our values, our core values, and accountability is a big one. And I think that's like something like setting the standard. And once you have a standard, if one guy's slipping, you got to pick him up, let him know about it. You just want everybody to set the bar higher, then it'll continue to get higher. You know what I mean? And as the leaders need to set that the highest, and everybody follows along. So.
Willie, when I spoke with you back in March, you talked about your past with wrestling and being a former running back. Was there any advice or jokes for Martell's as he's kind of made that transition to running back?
I mean, yeah, I played Martell's in high school, so I've already seen him on offense a little bit, but I've been joking around with him a lot. Everybody has, but yeah, he's been doing a great job, a really good job, learning that offense pretty quick, and he's been everywhere, returning too, so he's done really well.
What should fans expect to see from Mikel Skinner now that he's out there?
Yeah, he's improved a lot from last year. Just he's always had the talent. You know what I mean? I've known Mikel, me and Mikel are boys. He's always had the talent, but he's improved his mentals a lot from last year, just with the playbook and everything. And I think when he gets the ball in the hands, he's definitely scary. And I think as he continues to improve, and as a tight end group we continue to improve, it can be a really, really good room.
A lot of new transfers on this team. We've heard about these, I think they're called get real sessions that
Mhm.
you guys do. Who's maybe been the most interesting new teammate that you've met this spring?
There's a bunch of them. A lot of new guys, like past 2 years. You know what I mean? That's how college football is. A lot of new guys on the roster, but it's been good to hear everybody's stories. Even guys I've played with last year, like one of them is Jaden Williams. You know what I mean? We've been friends since last year. He was on the team here last year, but I didn't know his backstory before these get real meetings. And it's just really good learning everybody's backstory and their bring up and how they came up and everything like that. It's really interesting. It makes you think about that when you're out on the field with them.
You kind of piggyback off that. You're a Kentucky kid, and there's some legends come through, Derek Gaffney, Craig Geese, and everyone. How do you convey to these new guys who aren't from this state, who don't know what Kentucky football is, how do you kind of convey to them, like, this is what the program's about, this is what we want it to be?
Yeah, it's just about, like I said, the standard. You know what I mean? The guys who came before us set that standard high, and we're looking to set that bar higher. You know what I mean? Just continue to build off that, and seeing the guys who came before us and where the Kentucky is just motivation. And, you know what I mean? You got to have respect for that and know every time you step out with the jersey, it means something for sure, for the state and for the people.
Couple more.
We've heard so much from other returning players about the difference in styles and intensity with practices in the spring compared to last year and this year. Do you like this new practice style, and what have you noticed the biggest difference?
Yeah, I think it's just the tempo. And like I said, the competition. And with that quick tempo, it comes, no breaks, which I love. And I think as we get used to it, later in the spring now, we've gotten used to it now. And I think it's been really good. And it's just a much faster practice, which is more like in game. So I think it's good for both sides to see that. Playing SEC is a lot of tempo on both sides. Defense, offense, you can get a good jump. So I think as a whole group, as a whole team, it's really good for both sides.
What do you tell people when they ask you, like, what's the biggest difference in the program now versus 3 months ago?
I just say energy every day. You know what I mean? Well, it doesn't matter what day it is. It could be a Monday lift, like I said. It could be a Tuesday practice. A little cold, doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? We're going to be competing, we're going to bring energy, and I think if somebody, like Coach said, useful is useful, and if somebody's down a little bit, not bringing much energy, you got to see, like, you got to be a type of dude to bring that energy, you know what I mean? Bring them up with you, like I said, with the standard.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys, appreciate it.
We'll get Tehryon up. Yeah. Okay, so everybody ready? Everybody good? All right, question for Tehryon. We've heard a lot about Coach Bateman's defense and kind of how that's been implemented, but from your perspective, like, what's it been like working in this system now?
I feel like it's a lot more. It's a lot more components, but I feel like it's for the better. Puts us in every 11 player on the field has a chance to make the play. I feel like.
What are your thoughts on the energy in the practice now with it being so crazy? We've all heard all the stories, but your personal opinion on it?
It's great. You know, I'm a corner, so like I really love energy. I love just the competitive nature. So just having that energy come from each other, it becomes contagious.
We talked to Coach Brown on Thursday. He told us he broke his finger during what was that like watching as a player?
Yeah, so like at the beginning of practice when we're stretching, everybody gets a football. Ball security is at an utmost high in the program. So we want to take care of the ball. So like the coaches just kind of go around trying to punch at the ball, see if they can catch someone slipping and punch the ball out. And Coach AB, he gonna bring the energy. So when he came to punch the ball, I guess he punched it too hard and broke his finger.
Who was holding the ball that he tried to coach?
I don't know. It wasn't on me though. It wasn't on me. I just remember. I remember when we went to Indy that day, he was just like holding his finger and like kept looking at it. I was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "I tried to punch the ball." I was like, "Oh man."
Heard about some of the fun you guys have been having practicing, scrimmaging. Coach Stein told us about Jesse's pick six today. Just what was the energy like seeing that? How cool was that seeing him make that play?
That was Hassan Sykes that got that pick six. And yeah, it was great. You know, I seen the ball go in the air. I thought initially it went over one of my teammates' head, and then I seen him catching. I was just like, we got to go score this. So I just started running. I'm looking for somebody to block. But like, you know, it's just fun, you know, seeing everybody make plays, everybody being in the right spot. Like I said earlier, every 111 has a chance to make the play, and Hassan was in the right spot at that time, and he capitalized on it.
Willie was talking about this Mamba drill. Is there any position group that enjoys that more than the DBs?
The O-line, D-line get excited because it's like they're in the middle of the field, like dead smack in the middle of the field. So everybody's right there. All the O-line is standing in the middle, all the D-line is standing in the middle, and then they go 4 in a row. So it goes corner, I believe, like nickel safety, and then it goes tight end, linebacker, and then it goes straight 4 D linemen, 4 O linemen. So it's just back to back to back, just energy, straight back and forth competition.
What was your thoughts when you initially heard about that drill, and have they changed any since you started doing it?
When I first heard about the drill, I was like, let's go, let's do it. You know, like as a corner, you gotta love to compete. You gotta love to be put in uncomfortable situations, which is being in front of your whole team and having to stop the person in front of you. And ultimately, like I said kind of before, at corner it's mano a mano sometimes. So you just gotta go win. And honestly, I don't feel like they changed anything. It's just you go out there, the receiver get a route, you gotta stop them, and just go have fun doing it too.
Coach Brown did say they're asking you all to do a lot more press man coverage than previous years. What does that mean to you as a corner, and is it exciting, I guess, in some ways?
Absolutely. Just being able to get down at the line and take away that space is definitely a lot harder to play man from off, and someone's running at you full speed forward and you're running backwards. So, just getting down and being able to take that space away and play with good feet and good eyes, it eliminates a lot more of the thinking, especially when someone's just running at you full speed.
Seems like it was just yesterday that you were being pressed into the lineup as a freshman and guys were hurt and you had to make plays and you did. Well, now you're a veteran and you've got to be a leader, yet you've got a new DC and a new head coach and all that. What's it like trying to be a leader on this team in a situation like that?
Well, honestly, I just feel like it goes back to our traits, our DNA traits, kind of how Coach Stein and Willie was talking about. It just goes back to the traits. And honestly, if we just execute that, then it makes it easy for me to lead because I feel like I already have the personality to be relatable and personable to my teammates. And another thing that comes with that is we have a lot of transfers, so you have to really understand your teammate and how they want to be led, because certain people don't want to be led in different ways. They don't want to be talked to in certain ways. So just trying to take that time to sit down and talk and, see how people like to be talked to, see how people like to be led. And then honestly, once you figure that out, it's just go from there. You got to capitalize on it. So just I try and greet everybody with a smile and talk to everybody as much as I can, just to, when I'm on the field and I'm getting on them, they know that it's coming from a place of love, not just that I'm trying to get behind them.
From your perspective on the other side of the ball, has there been a guy that's just brought it every single day?
Shane Carr. Shane Carr is gonna bring it every day, from blocking to route running to just everything. So I feel like Shane Carr is bringing it, and I think the freshman class is bringing it as well. They're very aggressive on the perimeter when it comes to blocking, and they're very talented too.
You kind of mentioned, obviously, playing corner, you're one-on-one on an island. Coach Brown said, obviously, reps and, everyone's learning, and being a young guy thrust into the starting lineup. Where have you seen the most growth in yourself and in your unit with this new DC, this new type of practice format?
Honestly, as the weeks go by, just the confidence rises. Just, getting under the playbook, getting those reps under your belt, it helps build confidence, because doing something that you're not really used to or doing something that you haven't done before it's uncomfortable at first. But once you start to gain that confidence, once you start to put those reps under your belt, it becomes second nature. And for me, I just feel like my confidence is rising, and everyone in the room, our whole room, from me down to Isaiah McMillan, early enrollee freshman, which is showing great flashes. Everyone's just showing more confidence and just playing faster.
You mentioned Shane on the other side. Is there someone in the cornerbacks room or safeties room that you really think is really stepping up and has really grown throughout spring ball?
Cyrus Reyes is a safety. Jordan Castell, of course, I know y'all know about him. He's a veteran safety. Ty Bryant, I know y'all gonna hear that name a lot. Corner room, I like all my guys, of course. Hassan Sykes, Braxton Erhardt, DeMarcus Gardner, all of them just showing good strides. And then on the offensive side, we sometimes have to guard the tight ends. Mikael Skinner is electric. Willie Rodriguez is definitely electric. Nick Anderson is a great addition to the offense as well. DJ Miller, I just feel like it's ball players all around.
So not exactly your room, but seeing a fellow DB and Martell's kind of take some reps on the offense, playing running back, just how fun has that been to go against him and see him doing his thing over there?
It's fun because when after the play, we'll tackle him or something, and you just know when he's looking at you, it's just he knows what I'm thinking. Like if we're on the sideline and stuff, he played that position. He knows what it feels like to have to go tackle somebody on the sideline or tackle somebody in open space. So just having the ball in his hand, it's just fun to see, honestly.
Anybody else? All right. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.